All right, everyone. Happy Easter. I'm wearing a Christmas shirt because Merry Christmas, Christianity, something like that. I wanted to share some thoughts on Tucker Carlson because this is extremely interesting. Tucker Carlson, I have gone back and forth between, is he a proto-fascist or is he an enlightened centrist populist? Because he's kind of like the Bill Maher of the right, where Bill Maher criticizes Trump all the time, and if you only ever saw Bill Maher's criticisms of Trump, you'd think he's a raging leftist. But Bill Maher goes after the far left just as much as anyone else, and when you see the complete picture, you realize he's a lot more in the center. And Tucker Carlson, I think, is the same way, where he goes after neoconservatives. He says he resoundingly agrees with people like AOC and Bernie Sanders when they put forward good legislation.
No doubt many Republicans in the Congress will oppose this bill, if only because of who sponsored it. Bernie Sanders and Ocasio-Cortez are obviously demagogues. They don't mean half of what they say. The other half, they don't really understand. They're not impressive. But on this one issue, they are absolutely, indisputably right.
And so Tucker Carlson is an interesting character, and this clip in particular is phenomenal. So let's watch this.
I will say this, if I can just make one prediction. So the United States is becoming non-white. Everyone's excited about it. Or whether you're not excited about it, it doesn't matter. Whites are going to be in the minority. So what that means soon. So what that means is you're going to get at some point, probably in my lifetime, people standing up and saying, I represent white people. I'm the candidate of the white voter.
Right.
And I just want to say on the record that I'm going to tell that person to f*** off. Because nobody speaks. I'm an adult man, and nobody speaks for me because he shares the same skin color as me. Like, I just reject that entire idea. If I agree with you, I'll let you speak for me, and if I don't, I won't. But this idea that someone of a certain skin color, or any ethnic background, speaks automatically on behalf of all people who share that skin color, ethnic background, is a Nazi idea, and I'm totally opposed to it. And I will be opposed to it when it happens to me. When and this will happen. Someone's going to, oh, white people. And I'm going to be like, I don't even know you, dude. Yeah. I don't even know you. I refuse to allow you to purport to speak for me because we look the same, period.
Yeah, so this is hilarious, and it's hilarious because of the reaction from the far-right losers in their parents' basement. Tucker Carlson about white people, standing up for white people in America. Very disappointing. There's this article here. I am particularly grateful that Mr. Carlson has spoken openly about the Great Replacement, stuff that people on the left would squarely put Tucker Carlson in the far-right. He's basically a white nationalist Nazi, which is very strange given what you just saw. But here's my favorite line from this. But as useful as Mr. Carlson has been to advocates of white identity politics like me, he is not one of us, as made clear in a recent interview with Adam Carolla. Mr. Carlson represents the best of the conservative movement. He sees the Great Replacement, yet he is held back by classical liberal discomfort with unchosen politics loyalties. This is hilarious. The far right is going after Tucker Carlson for not being white nationalist enough. And this is kind of a thing where, again, like I said, I was on the fence about Tucker, and now I think he's still a douche, obviously, and kind of, self-centered and all that, but he is pushing back against the extreme left. I think he's getting a little too comfy with the Daily Wire position of we're going to eradicate transgenderism. I think transgender adults should be able to live their life however they want, and Tucker Carlson should not be fueling the fire in that regard. But when it comes to stuff like this, I think it's solid. And he's been on podcasts like the Nelk Boys and stuff. He's kind of a mainstream cultural figure as well. And I really think him taking a very hardline stance against the far left, while also basically telling the far right, F you, I think that's great. I think that makes him a net positive. And some people might say, oh, well, he's just signaling this to keep his support for white nationalism secret. It's like, dude, at a certain point, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Not in the cool sense in that you got everything right, certainly about certain pandemics and origins of certain diseases and all that stuff, but conspiracy theorist in that you literally think this is all just a controlled opposition game. Like, really? It's the same people who think that Trump is even controlled opposition. It's the same kind of nonsense. So shout out to Tucker Carlson. Enlightened centrism for the win, baby. And if you go after the far left, you go after the far right, then you're cool in my book. So anyway, with all that said, good luck and Godspeed.